Hello everyone and welcome back to Vanguard, episode 176, Legion Mate Stonehenge. Hedge. It's Henge. Yes it is. There's an N in there. I guess we'll just start. It's a really,
This is a throwaway episode.
yeah.
We thought it was going to be big, and it isn't.
Well, we thought it was going to be big because it sounded like it was. Like with the news we got from the last episode.
Thought they were going to Europe. But no, it's just little ways across town. Anyway.
We'll explain more. I'm more concerned about what happened, but it wasn't bad. It just wasn't.
Is an episode it wasn't bad. Is for the entire plot of Legion Mate it was.
Well, let's just start.
Yeah, so it starts off with Naoki putting up sign for the Cardfight Club. And everyone's like, Misaku's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm putting up the sign! And he's like, remember the good times we had? And they start remembering about him fighting with Shingo and stuff, and Aichi egging them on, and them all having a good old time. And they're like, yeah. Remember when we were friends with Shingo, and the door opens and there's Shingo!
Yeah, because he has to be in the show somewhere.
And he has a job now! It's his job to look after a piece of paper.
Yep. Keep the paper on the wall, dang it.
Yep. I just love how he remembers them as the punk kid and the bancho lady.
Boss lady.
So,
She's gonna beat me up with her invisible bamboo sword.
but yeah, Naoki's just like, Shingo, watch this sign. See you later, we're going on a trip. And Shingo's just like,
Like, what? Okay.
So then, they're going on a road trip to Stonehenge, but they're walking there. And Miwa bitches the whole way. He's like, hey, look, there's a cable car. Technology. Humans are supposed to use tools. Why are we walking a total of about 5 miles?
He is just would not shut up.
Miwa's so useless.
Yeah, it's bad enough he couldn't give any information about, the guy who beat him up. Not even so much as what kind of deck he uses or anything. But on top of that, he plans to go with him, possibly risk his life trying to get back Aichi. And he's just nothing but bitch the whole way up about how they should just take a car. It's not like they're going to the top of the mountain. They're just like going halfway up.
Yeah. Never go hiking with Miwa. So anyway, then we see the knights, and they're all sitting in their circle, and they're like, well, Ren spilled the beans, we better go take care of them, and Roddy's just like, nope, Gallard already went there. You're too late. So they get to the circles, and they have Vanguard circles all the circles. They get to Stonehenge, and there's rocks on the ground. There's Vanguard circles all over.
Little circles that have the emblems. I'm guessing they all do, but who knows? Maybe there's something we don't know. But I'm certain they're just supposed to be circles. Because remember, it's like what Ren did in his story in season 2. You play ancient duels there.
Yep.
You stand on each one. I bet is how it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, apparently season 2 was not lying after all.
Yeah.
Ren just said he was lying.
Yeah. It was funny when I found that picture that somebody had put up.
Oh, it is Stonehenge. I was right.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway.
So then Gallard appears out of one of the circles, and Naoki's like, do me! Because Kai originally was like, gonna do it, but then Naoki was like, no, I must face him. And everyone's like, yeah, let Naoki do it.
It's more like he said, I don't care who I fight, and then he just said, alright, Naoki, what's your flame? He didn't really give him a chance to decide. He just asked her, I'm just gonna go with you first.
Yeah. So then they're fighting, and
No, that's not what happened first. What happens first is the first problem I actually had with the episode. First real problem I've had with the thing so far as a whole. Instead of having Naoki, distract him while they try to figure out how to get in to their secret base, they all just kind of stick close so that they all can get caught in the trap stand thing. And it just made me think, why didn't you guys just scatter and try to find a way in?
You obviously see that he could teleport through. Try to figure it out before then.
But nope, they gotta stay there with their friend. Even though it would have been a good chance for them to figure out what to do.
They really should have had Miwa challenge him, so that way they'd have all their competent members there trying to figure it out.
I want to like you, Miwa, but you don't exactly have the best win record.
Your win record so far is Shingo, and anyone who's new at playing the game.
Has he even beaten anyone else? Because he fought in Season 1 and lost to Aichi. Season 2 he fights against Kai and loses frequently. In Season 3 he reverses, I guess, June, but off screen.
And apparently reverses other people, but they're so minor.
Man, we
it doesn't
didn't
matter.
even see the other people like up close. We just know it's June and his goons. That's it.
And then lost to Misaki, who we already have noted is not allowed to play card games.
No, her it's that extra X chromosome, man. It makes them really bad at card games, apparently. At least according to Nave. That's how it works. Nave is such a jerk.
And then Miwa sucks. Anyway, so I love that Kamui gets mad that Gallard is using French. He's like, using French to sound cool. It's like, no, maybe because he's French.
This guy. But anyway, so
They start fighting.
They start their fight. They, do what they do. And then when Gala rides the Grade 2, Kai notices something. That the deck is not the same deck that he was using before. Because he was using Aichi's deck before. But really, I don't know how
He knew that.
much of a difference. Like, he only fought him the one time. He only saw, like, maybe 7 cards.
And most of those he was still using.
A lot of the ones that were there were ones he was using. Because Legion was in the first fight, too, just on the rear guard. So it's like, whatever. It's not like you actually know that there's a difference. Like, even Marin's still there.
Yep. So, fight goes on. Naoki gets to Grade 3, but then Gallard is able to get his Legion. Percival with whatever the heck his buddy is. He wears a hood. But then it cuts to the student council, and they're gonna take down the sign!
It's familiar to them, but they don't know why, but any unofficial clubs must be gotten rid of. And then Shingo, who's on the other side, rushes out and tells them not to do it. He doesn't know why, even.
I just love how he screams at them, too. It's not like, just, no, please don't. He's just like, no!
Yeah, where I am.
Yeah, I just loved it. It was so funny.
Continue.
But yeah, so, Naoki gives his big touching speech about how they're all friends, and they're gonna find Aichi, because he had such good times at the Cardfight Club, and how important it was, and going back to the good old days and whatnot.
It's all about he's not fit for this world.
Yeah. Says that they don't deserve Aichi, and it's Aichi's burden to bear that he can't have friends.
Whatever that freaking means.
Could have, given us a little teaser as to why.
Well, no, we should have by now, because we're 13 episodes in, and we don't actually know why they care so much. We don't actually have any real hints yet. And that's what I thought this episode was going to be. Because, we went through the first 12, setting up the villains, setting up what the status quo is going to be, who's on their side, and then we've established that Ren knows something, and while he can't directly tell us, he can at least tell them where to go to find clues. And when they finally get there to do that, they don't get to get any actual information. And that's kind of where my problems are with, not the episode, just the season so far is starting to come from. It's starting to feel like season 2 and 3 again, where things just...
Bad pacing.
Yeah, things just got paced
things
bad, but
don't
we'll
matter.
talk about that at the end.
So then, we don't get to see what the Gold Paladin Legion does.
Legions, then he attacks, Naoki doesn't guard, and then he loses.
And then Gallard's like, wait, great, you lost. I'm going to destroy this place since you lost.
I'm going to block the passageway here, so now you guys can't get through here. Which begs the question, why did you leave it open at all? Clearly it wasn't important for it to stay open if you're willing to just
Close it on a
casually close it without even discussing it with the other knights.
And then Corrine appears.
Yep, well, after Misaki wants to fight,
And Kai says no because she's a woman.
Yep, Misaki's not allowed to.
Card game shows and women, why do they do this?
I wish I remember what the line was. It said damn something something. Oh, it's a damn fallopian tubes. That's what it was.
We can play card games too, guys! Here. We're on over half your cards.
I think they forgot. But anyway,
now there's men and there's some other thing. What was it? Anyway.
But as they were getting ready to try to fight him again, and he was like, fine, but you're just going to keep losing, a voice comes out and says, I will fight them.
Corrine.
Yes, Glow shows up, dude, and then Corrine in, like, her own knight armor suit shows up.
It's this stupid little coat that gives her a boob window. And the tiniest boob window ever. And it goes up to, like, here.
Yeah, I thought she had a scarf at first, and then it's like, no, she just has a really big neck thing.
She gives that guy from Naruto a run for his money. The bug guy.
Yeah, Corrine shows up. Everyone's freaking out because, she, I guess, was gone. I mean, I don't know. Like, she just lost her memories and I guess left or something.
Yeah, no one really cared about Corrine.
I guess not. No one ever mentioned where she was supposedly stationed. No one noticed she was gone either.
We remembered Aichi, but we forgot all about Corrine!
Oh, God. And
I just love that when Misaki sees her, it looks like she creamed herself.
I think Misaki's probably the only one who even remembered that she's not supposed to be around because she still had Corrine's band around there. But it still begs the question.
Her finger and everything.
It still begs the question. Did no one know she was missing?
Kai's just like constantly in his room, just thinking like, okay, we gotta find Aichi, but I feel like I'm forgetting.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's not even that because they all remember who Corrine is. Clearly, their reactions say they do.
We gotta get Aichi back and Corrine. No, we don't talk about her.
So, that's where the episode ends. The episode wasn't bad.
It
was just very disappointing.
Yeah, it's like this episode didn't do anything. We didn't learn anything new. We didn't the only thing we learned is Corrine's back.
Is Corrine's back, but we didn't need to go all the way out here, having about 5 to 8 minutes of them walking up to the place and then trying to bum around, figure out what's going on.
Geller could have just showed up somewhere and fought them again, just like, I'm nipping this.
It could have just been in the Psy shop. For all it mattered, it didn't need to be all the way out there. So it didn't actually have an actual purpose, especially since it looks like I was just gonna close the place off anyway.
Yeah. And
if it turns out that Corrine is on their side and invites them to come with, why couldn't they have done this at the Psy shop, etc.? It doesn't have a reason to be out here, and it doesn't have a reason to exist because, again, there's like the 13th episode, dude, and all we know is the same thing that we knew about 5 episodes ago. And I was able to say the other ones were great because they were establishing the Knight's characteristics and what they used and stuff. And heck, this episode could have been really great if we even got to see what the Legion for Gold Paladin actually did.
Didn't even see new cards.
Yeah, didn't even see new cards. Didn't see Naoki using anything different either. It was just a wasted chance to do something.
It would have been great if they stormed the castle.
That's what I thought that we were going to do. I thought that when Naoki said he would fight them, instead he was making a sacrifice to let everyone else get in while he held off Gaillard so they could, run around the who knows how big this freaking place is, trying to find Aichi, because they now know that, yes, you can get to him from there. But then they didn't do that. He just wanted to fight him because he's really passionate guy, I guess, even. But, dude, why don't you just let Kai do it? He has a score to settle against this guy.
Yep.
But then they just don't do it.
Now he's lost to 2 different knights. He knows the pain of electric rods up his ass and flames.
And, again, Corin, like, that's really the only thing that happened from this, and it didn't need to happen here. And we don't even know if she's, going to try to actually keep them away, if she's the one who's doing all this, if she's working with Aichi to do the things that we mentioned before about, protecting Cray. We don't know anything about what's going on here, and I love Hype as much as the next guy, but that's all they've been doing. They haven't been answering any questions. They just keep adding more.
What they should have done, I just realized this. This Gallard fight was completely useless. What it should have been was when they get there, instead of him showing up, Corin stops them. Because then it would have made sense for everyone to stay behind, because they want to know, why the heck is Corin here?
I would have just been fine with them doing the Storm of the Castle thing, and then Corin stops them inside. I don't understand what the point was to doing this, because like I said, usually when you add more questions, you should answer things.
Not just add more questions.
We don't actually, because we don't have an answer still, and it's not like I'm saying that this episode was terrible as a result. I'm just saying they're starting to wear thin.
Yeah.
Because this is the exact same thing that they did in season 2 and 3, where they didn't give us enough stuff to work with to make us keep caring. In season 2, it was a similar problem of, oh my goodness, this big mysteries happened. We gotta know what's going to happen or what's going on, and then they just didn't tell us until like near the end of the season. And in Link Joker's case, it's the opposite, where the first part was they didn't hype us enough, and eventually we just got realizing, wow, there's literally nothing going on in this show until episode 20, and then even that after time, all the potential for hype goes out the window because it just ends up being
resolved.
It just gets resolved instantaneously, so there's nothing building up.
Vanguard really has a problem with its pacing.
But the thing, though, it didn't in season 1, and it wasn't in this season either. This season was doing a good job. It's just
this episode.
This episode showed me that they're not having any intentions on solving the problem for maybe another couple episodes. Because next episode, Corin's got to fight.
And it says, she's going to give the truth. She's going to give us some sort of truth, and she better.
Yeah, so basically the next episode they have to get an answer.
Otherwise this title is a lie.
Well, not only that, that means that if we don't get an answer here, that means that it could be we don't get the answer until near the end of the season. And it also makes the question, if Corin's just going to tell them, then why hasn't the Knights? Heck, why haven't the Knights just told them anything since they've clearly shown that they're not giving up after they've been, rustled a bit?
Why not lie to them?
Yeah, even just lie to them, saying that if they meet him, that he'll die, and they just have to trust them.
Just make up some bullshit story. Aichi has a horrible disease. We were sent here to quarantine him.
Come on, man. You can do better than that.
Yeah.
Like, something like he's out fighting remains of Link Joker on Cray in his astral form, or helping at least, and he can't be bothered because if he's disrupted, it could cause the end of Cray and Earth. There. If whether or not it's true, we don't know yet, but the point is, why would it harm anyone by telling them that? Especially since it's obvious that they're not going to give up, and they're only going to keep trying to get stronger. In fact, they know that they're going to keep trying to get stronger.
It's like this whole entire... they better have a really good explanation for why everyone had to forget Aichi.
That's what I think, too. It's starting to seem less and less like there's a reason why everyone had to forget about Aichi, other than maybe, his family. Like, family and maybe the school.
Yep.
But why his friends was let in on this? Because Ren knows... He apparently was trustworthy enough to be let in on what's going on.
Ren, trustworthy.
Yeah, the guy who didn't tell anybody about aliens plans to take over the world and everyone on it.
The guy that completely undermines the woman's needs and leads her on.
Just to make her good at playing card games.
And belittles her.
But Kai wasn't supposed to be in on the secret. It makes me really wonder. Like, that's why I'm really hoping that... I'm still really hoping that it is, in fact, the matter of they need to test them out to see if they're strong enough to help. Because if it's anything else, it's just going to be like, why didn't you just tell them that then? Yeah. Or why don't you just lie to them?
And the more I think about it, also the only person out of everyone in the show that I would trust with this information is Misaki. She's the only one I think who'd be able to keep it a secret.
I don't know. Kai does not want to talk to people. Yeah. And he tends to choose to go on his own most of the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess just after the whole Link Joker thing, I'd be a little apprehensive to trust him.
Well, if they're chosen by Aichi, as I'm thinking they are still, I think Aichi trusts him enough.
Yeah. So yeah, Misaki and Kai, only one's trustworthy enough.
Like I said, I don't even hate the episode. I think it's an okay episode. We're
just wary about where it's taking us.
It's just, yeah, because the last 2 seasons had similar problems. It's just, in this case, unlike the other 2, we actually got a good amount of hype, but now we're ready for answers. Unlike season 2, where they tried to give us hype, but they didn't really tell us anything but the one problem: 2 clans are missing. And in season 3, we had reverse hype. Nothing getting introduced until like 20 episodes in.
We've had this it's just we've seen this happening before, and we're very apprehensive of it. It's showing the signs.
I've seen plenty of shows where they just get hype, but then they don't do anything with it, and then they lose their chance to do anything with it because time has run out. So I'm really hoping that the next episode will make this episode worth it. If it actually does reveal the truth, and I mean like a lot of information, like it's just a big info dump.
Korean explains everything.
We need that. If it happens, then that will fix this episode somewhat. It'll still beg the question, why couldn't they just go to the side shop, since that would be pretty poetic anyway. They go to the place where Korean originated all this stuff, where Aichi first started getting introduced to Psyqualia, where Ren probably frequented after he got Psyqualia. You know, this story had been such an important thing in season 1 and even parts of season 2.
Part of season 3 is where we first met Guylord.
4, and that's 4.
Season 4. Dead.
Season 3, it wasn't even in the show as far as I remember.
Sorry, messed up.
Point is that this shop is kind of important. You'd think it would have just taken place there. But, whatever. Take it or leave it. I found it was an okay episode, but it's got to start doing a turning point. Otherwise, the series will just start going the same way as... Not quite as bad as season 2 start, but not nearly as mundane as season 3's. It's going to be somewhere in the middle, but different, because it's becoming mundane through its hype.
You can only drag someone along so long before they start getting bored. You gotta start giving them something.
So, let's see.
You gotta dangle that carrot in front of you.
So that's it for Vanguard episode 156. You made me do it because you kept saying that yesterday.
I can't numbers.
176. We got extra boosters 8 and 9 coming out for realsies next week. This was just a sneak peek, like I said last time. Extra booster 1 for Buddy Fight. We still don't know that many new cards yet.
We did get something revealed about a new card for Booster 3.
Which one?
Drum Bunker Brave.
Oh.
Yeah. We now know that his thing is that with rock, paper, scissors he gets penetrate.
Pretty sure I already knew that, but a while ago, but whatever. That's still got time to do stuff. Because that's Booster 3. That comes out a month from now. I'm really hoping we don't have to wait till the last minute to see what's in there. I like knowing what's going to be in a set really early.
Yeah, I just remember last set, the only reason why
the only reason we knew is because someone got the box early and just leaked everything in it. But we'll see. If nothing else, I'm really curious, especially because Well, I'll get my Richard.
Richard!
Been wanting to put that in my nights for a while.
I'm just excited for the next episode of Buddy Fight because I want to play Dungeon World. Because my world got destroyed.
Yeah, destroyed by the fatal, no one important is using it.
The always fatal, no one gave a shit.
Yeah. I mean, yes, Kiri's using it, but he's not going to be maining it.
Who gives a shit
His freaking
about
name
Kiri?
is Kiri. What was it again? Kyoryu.
Yeah, Hyoru.
As in cutting ice dragon. I wonder what his buddy's going to be. I'm going to say it's probably going to be Ice Blade Joker, who looks like a dragon. It's like they have the same name or something.
Why are they keeping this a secret?
I don't mean to be Starkey.
It's not a secret to anyone.
Yeah, I don't mean to be Starkey. It's just Bushiroad. Why would you name the character that and then have a card that is related to the exact same thing as his name?
Almost word for word.
Yeah, almost word for word. And then they say it's a mysterious kid uses this, and then have a kid we don't know anything about that clearly has something off about him, especially as we saw from the last episode, be here and have clearly the main villain have an eye on him because he has potential.
This show.
I'm liking that Buddy Fight's getting away from its dark period, but it's still
haunted.
It's still haunted by the demons of that
past.
time. Yeah, of its past. And bad choices, because apparently they don't think kids can keep up with that.
It'll surprise you!
It'll be Titanic. Get it? Because there's icebergs. And they're on a boat.
And everyone's gonna die.
That's hilarious. Well, that was last week's episode. It's not this week's, I know.
Yeah.
But it's just silly. I don't know. It can get better though. They're clearly improving now. So I guess till next time, everybody. Hopefully we'll get some packs from something and we can talk about them. Hopefully Buddy Fight, because we don't get as many chances to talk about them. They're not nearly as frequent as Vanguard.
Yeah.
So see you, everybody.